channel. It's going to be a very special session today. You know, it has always been how to cut this particular style, how to draft this particular style, cutting paper directly on your fabric. It is about today. I'll be walking through the journey of how to cut simple, long, straight high neck gown. Amazing, right? Yeah, I know. So stay tuned. See you on my cutting table and on my sewing machine. Welcome back. So, like I said the other time, we are going to be cutting simple, straight, long gown. As you can see here on the board, I've folded my fabric into two places. That is here, I folded it into two, then folded this into two also, that is in 4 places. What I'm going to do next is to place my tape rule here at the edge of the cloth and measure 3 inches. So since I want to go with simple gown, with simple short neck, with collar, so I'll be going with 3 inches by 1.5 inches for the front and just ½ inch for the back. Next, I'm going to divide my back into two. The back I'll be working with today is 14. 14 divided by 2 equals 7 inches plus ½ inch allowance, that is 7.5 inches, which I'm going to mark on the spot. So I want to go with free hand today, so I do not need my ruler to cover my armpit. So I will also be showing you as a bonus how to cut your armhole using free hand. Alright, so the next thing now is to measure my half length and my hip length. So the half length is 16 inches, which I'm going to mark on the spot. And what I'm going to measure next is to my hip line. I'm going to place my tape rule here on the 16 inches and mark 8 inches there. Shape it out. It is important to know that whenever you are drafting your neck and your armhole, you need to insert your shoulder slant. So what I'm going to do now is to place my tape rule here where I divided my back into two. So I'm going to place my tape rule there and come down by 1 inch. So here it is, and I'm going to connect this line to the line on my shoulder using my hand. So here I've drafted out my shoulder slant. So the next thing now is, you know, I told you that I've measured 16 inches as the half length I'll be working with. Then on the 16 inches, I placed my tape rule and went down by 8 inches. That is the hip line I'll be working with. So the next thing now is to shape out my bust, waist, and hip measurement. The bust I'll be working with here today is 36. So you're going to divide 36 into 4. That is 36 divided by 4, that will be 9. So here I'm going to place my tape rule here on 9 and mark it out. So the next thing now is to go to the waistline, divide the waist by 4. The waist I'll be working with here is 28. 28 divided by 4, that will be 7 inches, which I will mark on the spot. Then the hip I'll be working with is 40 inches divided by 4 equal 10 inches. So what I'm going to do now is to insert my sewing allowance. Since I'm working with a stretchy fabric, the allowance I'll be adding is just 1 inch. And maybe the fabric is not stretching, I would add 2.5 inches. So since I'm working with stretchy fabric, I'm just going to go in by 1 inch. Here I'll mark 1 inch on the waistline also. I'll place my tape rule there and mark 1 inch on the hip line, which I've marked 10 inches before. I'm going to go outside by 1 inch. Then I'll connect the line. Actually, you cannot see it because I actually used chalk here, but when I shape it out, you will see. So the next thing now is to shape out my knee, because I want the gown to be very smart on the customer's body. So I'll be going in by 1.5 inch. If you like, you can go in by 2 inches, 1 inch, or ½ inches. So it depends on how curvy or how slim you want it to be. So I'm going to place my tape rule here and measure 1.5 inches. The reason why it is not obvious because I said I want to use free hand method. And maybe I want to use my ruler, I would have gone with my ruler and my marker. But since I want to go with freehand, so let's try to cut it out. Alright, so here I'm done cutting the gown. The next thing now is to cut out the sleeve. Alright, so now I want to cut out the collar of the neck since I'll be working with high neck. So what I want to do now is to cut out the collar. To do this, you can actually measure your neck. You have to join your front and back together before you can know what you will use as your measurement, but usually alright, so I'm done cutting it out. The next thing now is to go to the machine and see it. So